Hey everybody, this is Monkeypuzzle and welcome to episode number 82 of Monkeywrenching the Beast. Here we are flying around the core of our ark, our mothership, the Monkey Cruiser. And today I got a really exciting episode, at least I'm looking forward to it. We want to flesh this out into a real airship today. This is just the core, the engine room, so to speak, and now it's time to build the rest of the hull of this thing. So I wanted to do this with Nilo Rio, but he is at a friend's house for the weekend, and this is what I need to do today. So he gave me permission to go ahead with it, and we're going to do that. For folks who missed our previous episodes, this airship, besides being one of the funnest things you can do with red power frames, it's also going to be the ship that symbolically takes us to the next mod pack. We're in Direwof. The pack is 5.3.2, and it's still in Minecraft 1.4.7. And it's going to be time to move on mod packs pretty soon. I skipped the whole 1.5 era of mod packs, but as soon as 1.6 stabilizes, we'll be moving on to that. So we'll probably be saying goodbye to red power. So what better way to say goodbye to it than with a frame airship? Plus, it's one of the projects we wanted to do here before we left. So yeah, we're calling this the Monkey Cruiser. There's been a lot of other name suggestions. Some of them I brought up last time. Also, we had a couple new ones. Matthew Philby wanted to call it the Banana Ship. And let me see, Pedro Packer Lee wanted to call it the Golden Ark. And both of those is because it's going to be yellow. So we'll see what it ends up. I think it's still going to be sort of yellow or golden at the end. But we're going to totally deck it out. So in the chest here, I've got all the rest of the frames we made. We made 1,000 originally because that's how many of these frame motors can move. At least that's in the configuration now. But if you do more than that, it just lags too much. And I'm sure it's going to lag quite a bit with 1,000. So I added this up, multiplied it, and this is 800 and something at this point. So that means we used 100 and something with this. And I was pretty careful to try to not drop them. I'm sure some might be at the bottom of the sea. If we're a few short, that's okay, but we can't go over. But we do want to make this as big as possible. Now, originally, we wanted to make this like a ship in the ocean. A pirate ship is what it was going to be originally. You know, some kind of classic pirate ship, or maybe kind of steampunk it out. And the problem with the regular ship is it has, you know, a prow and a stern. And you can turn to go whichever way you want, but these can't turn. They can go in 4 directions, and that's it. So it has to have 4 prows if it's going to go in 4 different directions and not be moving sideways. I think to move on to the next mod pack, we're going that way because we've actually never found the end of this ocean before. I went out quite a ways before, and it was still ocean. So that seems like the final frontier in our case. But yeah, we're going to build a 4-prowed ship. I'm not sure at this point how steampunky it's going to be. We might just kind of retro modern it out. I'm going to find out. I'm going to kind of freeform it in the course of this episode. So I divided up our remaining frames mainly into 4 segments because each of the 4 sides basically get to be this big, and we'll find out exactly how big that is. But basically each one of these I got to build out into somewhat of a triangle like this, and figure out how far I can get with the frames I've got. So we've got a center right there. We definitely got to keep it symmetrical, so that would be like that. And we want to get it as big as possible too. And this is going to be the main deck right here. It will be enclosed for the most part, I think. So this is the top. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just keep it an open deck ship. Was considering putting a mast on it. But we might skip that in case the it just uses up too many blocks. But so for each of these four sides, this is how many blocks I have to play with. So I'm gonna go ahead and start building this out. Clearly I've already started, and get an idea of how much we can do here. So maybe I'll just work off camera for a little bit and get a shape going here, and then I'll show you guys what I've come up with once I've built it out. I'm just kind of working my way around, just kind of keeping it symmetrical and seeing what I can do. Probably want to build some of this out as well, enclose this, because even though we're going over the ocean, we kind of want to treat this as a spaceship as well, because yeah, it's got to go, if it's going to go to the next mod pack, well, then it's got to go through many different dimensions, and so it has to be able to take you through those dimensions safely. Anyway, I just committed a sin. I put some of these over there, or some of these over there, so I'll have to subtract or add that many back to this side, just so I have it all even. Anyway, I'm going to keep working on this, and I'll be back with you in momentarily for you. Okay. Well, here's my progress report. I took it out this far on this one side, and of course it's going to go out this much on all four sides. I'll see if I have enough blocks left. I also spent some blocks sort of rounding out the bottom. I need to heal up these two places where the red alloy wire and the logic circuits come out. Those are going to need to get either packed in there or put up here somewhere. And part of this is going to be redoing some of the circuitry. The basic circuits are how they're going to be, but I can connect them up to one control panel somewhere, maybe with some wireless redstone. But I'm going to do that in a little bit. Right now I'm just trying to flesh out the shape. And the reason why I think I may have spent too many coming out this far, we'll see if we can do it, is basically I want to be able to have a windshield at this point. So probably needs to come out to here. Let's see if we can do that. We'll just have it slightly inset from the edge. Another question I have, which we can find out now, is if the frames can support multiple micro blocks on them like that. So that's the first question. Let's see if we can move forward, say. Well, forward in this case being this direction. All right, so that works. Yeah, why wouldn't it work? Not work with the it's within the same mod, so that makes sense. That would work. Now, the trick is we need to be able to connect this up here, and the problem with that is that this is a 3 high space, and every block that's not a frame needs to be touching the frame. So to do this, I think we're going to need to bring these down a bit, right at the edge, and it needs to be a straight connection like that. They can't be at an angle to each other. And yeah, maybe we need to, apparently we're going to need to come out one more and go like that, and then in here we can put one like that. And here you can come out here and see what's going on. They're slightly inset from each other, but I'm trying to create a sloping roof. Yeah, well, let's see how this works out. And this is going to use up quite a bit of frames doing this edging along the side here. So yeah, let's see what that looks like from outside. It's a little blocky right there. Maybe we can do something like this. I'm trying to keep the headroom inside, but maybe we can just lose a little headroom Can't lose those blocks. Gotta keep the count. So like this, we'll have to connect them on the inside. So, and then we'll get our slope on the roof. Anyway, let me see. Let's do one more set of these, and then if it's okay, then I'll go ahead and complete the edge like this. Because of course this thing has to be streamlined, even if it's moving only a meter every 2 seconds. That's not too bad. Yeah, we can see how that's going to be. Now the outside of this is probably going to be gold covers, I think. We're limited in the what the covers can be. So if we search for cover and go back to the first page, these are all the textures that we can do covers with. So most of these are things that couldn't fly, you know, rocks and things. So I don't want to be anything that can crack, because that just won't feel right to me. So I can't do marble, can't do stone. I could potentially do these gemstones. I think we get away with that, although they're pretty gaudy. The ones that seem to really work for me are the metals, the iron and the gold and diamonds. Lapis is possible. Snow would be weird. If we wanted to get really retro, we can do wood covers. For interdimensional travel, I don't know how that would really seem. Obsidian is an option, I think. So not too many choices in textures for the outside. In here I have all those done. So I was thinking iron in here for the engine room, maybe some for the outside, gold for the outside. And then also I've got some wools, some red and purple, which I'm thinking could be our inside for some lavish quarters within. So wherever people are going to be could be nice and comfortable. But yeah, we're going to be working with a texture on the outside, something like this. I'm curious also, we got to do another test. I might be able to add a bit more texture to it with micro blocks on this. That one didn't show up. Let's make some more of these. Might as well just go make a whole bunch, because we're going to need them. I'm definitely going to need to make another saw before I'm done with this, especially if I throw it into the ocean. But this putting a few of these on here, I think I didn't place that one right. Yeah. Why is that one being weird? Ho ho, when I've run out of covers, it replaced my gold covers with a glass cover, which is why I couldn't place on that one support frame there. So I covered a bit more with the gold covers, and that's what it's looking like. I wish the floor could be sloped a little bit more, but the floor does need to be something that can be walked on. I could save some blocks in a way by taking out some of them like this, and save some frames and putting blocks in those spaces. That's possible. I wonder if you can do something like that and then get more frames there. There has to be orthogonal connections between all the frames. Let's see if we've messed up yet. It's really important doing these things to keep testing, because you don't want to mess up and then not know where you messed up. So we're still good. That works. So that's definitely a way to retrieve more frames when we need to. I'm not going to do too much of that, because that adds more time and complication to the build. But as we run short of frames, that's a trick we can do if we need to. So looking at this, You know, it's Minecraft, so it's blocks, so there's going to be limitations. I'm pretty good with that. I do think I need to shave it off a little bit right here, because I think if I fulfilled the way it was right there, it would get a little too blocky too fast. It does need to look a little streamlined, and that retrieves some blocks. So I'm going to try it like that. I'm not sure exactly what happens back in these corners here. Might just be glass all the way around. You know, and this is still going to be very much a work in progress. Oh, weird. Stuff's happening here. I have to figure out what happened to that. Seems like it's shifting the blocks around. Interesting. This whole thing should be connected, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to play around with that and see what happened. But I think I'm pretty good with the shape, besides this little block shifting thing. And I may just build out the rest of the other three sides with basically the same pattern, and then we'll see what that looks like. Ooh, we're moving. Okay. I figured out why the glass covers moved is I had them on top of the gold covers, which are slippery, so they moved back when it moved that way. If I want them to stick onto these, I probably should make these gold panels. But that's okay. I think this is good like this. I'll just have to make sure that on the inside I do covers. I kind of was looking for the staggered look for streamlining, but I think that was a little too awkward anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to build out the other three sides, and then I'll get back to you once I've done that. Also going to need to work pretty soon on cleaning up this circuitry. Maybe I'll do that first, even though it's the part I'm least excited about, because I need to move this out of the way, and it's definitely an asymmetrical element, but the up and down, I guess, is just going to have to be somewhere. I'm not sure where the main control room is going to be. Probably on this side, since we're moving this way. I'll see. Okay. So while I'm redoing the circuitry, I might as well show you this. You may already know, but to make the wireless receiver and the transmitter, both of them require these, the wireless transceivers, which uses a Arether pearl, which is this configuration. So I've got that set up in the project table. I'm going to need probably 12 of these if I do it all like that. So let's go ahead and make 12. Or I guess I'll make 9 for now. And that'll be enough to get me going. These go on the end of obsidian sticks, which is just obsidian like that. And then the rest is just basic working with the redstone logic stuff, which I have a bunch of over here. So I'm just going to make those real quick. Okay, so I got the logic circuits as compact as I can figure out for now in there. Definitely small enough to enclose. And got the receivers there and there. 1 is up and 2 is down. I would have liked down to be -1, but you can't do negatives. So they're in the same place right here, but the circuitry doesn't go through. So we should be able to go ahead and complete the shape now. And we can always move these around wherever we want later, and also add 4 more for these directions when we want to put our control panel in. But for now, I can go ahead and close this in and move on. So I'm going to do that, and I'll join you in a minute. And there it is, all covered up with the gold covers. I'll go ahead and ornament it more later, maybe in another episode. But today, I'm just going to go for the basic skin of gold, and then we'll see how we can do things with that later on. I'm wondering, and let's just do a little test here. Let's just use these for now. What happens if, say, we did something like that? You know, not that I'm going to do that exactly, but just, you know, the little striping or something. Does that still work as an integral block? So let's try going up. See if those stay on. Oh, because it's covers. Right. Yeah, these are going to fall off. That one must be a panel right there. Oh, no, it's stuck to the frame. But but yeah, let me try that again. Let's see, let's make some covers and get these back. I'm just exploring the possibilities for decorating these if I want to later. So let's try it like that. That should work. Yeah, in fact, I know that's going to work. So let's go up. Yep. So we can ornament, put more detail on the outside later. That's one of the ways we can do it. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and finish skinning it in gold. I may have to change covers out for panels later, but that's not that big of a deal. I'm going to take these off for now because I'm not going to commit myself to that quite yet. But yeah, whoops. There is the bottom of the monkey cruiser. Yeah, nice little kind of spherical flying saucer kind of thing. So now I'm going to go ahead off camera and I'm going to build out the four sides like I said I would before, now that I've got the circuitry out of the way. So next time you see it, it'll be more like that. And there it is, built out that far. It's starting to get an idea of the shape and the mass of it. Pretty big, but not huge. Like I said, I could go back and pull out blocks here and there, but that just seems too complicated right now. I might later when I have more time. I do think it needs more of a point on the ends there. I can add that on. But I'm going to go ahead and build these parts out a little bit more. I need to come out at least 5. So the trick with this is you always got to have one at least connecting to the other thing, and then that's all the connection you need at that point. Anyway, I'm going to keep working on this, and as usual, I'll bring you back when I've made a bit more progress. So here's the last one of these top roof portions, and I think I got it down to a pattern now, but I'm also done. So that's what that looks like. I worked on bringing this to a bit more of a point. Tried a few different things. Also had some micro blocks sticking off the sides. Not quite sure what I think of that yet, but I'm going to go with that for now. So to do that, I need to come out from there 3 more blocks like that. And then I'm going to be building out the insides, the glass viewer spots, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, I'm going to basically build out each one just like this, and we'll see what that looks like. And this comes out a bit more like that. So actually, yeah, that'll work. Okay, so to do that, I got to make sure that I grab this, I believe, and go like that, and like that. I'll see if I got that right. Yeah, I think that's it. So in the interest of time, I'm going to speed ahead again. Just testing to make sure it still flies, and also checking out the shape. I'm not entirely satisfied with it, but I think that's the shape I'm going to do on the 4 sides for now. And I promise I will definitely keep playing with this as we go along. But I want to get a basic thing, a basic shell made by the end of this episode. So yeah, I'm gonna work with that. Also, I've noticed that with the increased number of frames, it lags enough that the speed doesn't work out quite right. I think the timer will go around sometimes without the motors working. So there'll be some tweaking of the timing later too. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and replicate this shape all the way around. Well, it's really starting to take shape, and it's also starting to spawn mobs. Need some light on there. Apparently, wherever the covers are provides a surface that's spawnable. They don't seem to be spawning on the frames at all, but yeah, I've got to embed some glowstone or some other kind of lamps in there. Next, so after all that, I still have about 3 stacks of frames left, so can definitely build some more stuff out. So I'll have to figure out where those can go because we want it to be as big as possible. So I have to put some thought into that. I distributed some of the extra frames, and I think I'm going to extend the bow, each of the 4 bows of our 4 bow or 4 proud ship. And yeah, I think that'll also help give it more of a nautical ship kind of shape, just lengthen it out. So I'm going to go ahead and extend the 4 points like that, and we'll see what that looks like. And I'll have less than a stack left over at that point. And we can always go up a little bit on top, maybe. I don't think we want to go down on bottom. We could fill in the hole a little bit down there. Not sure. We'll see. I think that helped a lot. I really like what that did. Now I just need to get in there and knock out the glass and extend it all the way to the tips like I had before. So I'm going to proceed with that. With that all done, there is the Monkey Cruiser in the form where I think I'm going to leave it today. I definitely am pretty pleased with how it's coming along. Pretty unorthodox shape, I think, and but it works for what it does and how it functions. I did hit a little snag. I started to cover it with the covers, trying to get it done completely skinned for the day. And I did something wrong because it's not moving now. So I've been troubleshooting it for a couple hours and lost a lot of time. So I'm definitely going to have to stop here for now. I was afraid maybe I went over the block limit. So I went into the config file and I doubled it from 1,000 to 2,000. But that didn't seem to do anything. So I don't think it's that. Somewhere I misplaced a block or a cover or something that is holding it all up. But don't worry, I will troubleshoot it. It's just going to take me more time than I have now in the interest of getting this edited and up tomorrow for your enjoyment. So anyway, this has been another episode of Monkeywrenching the Beast, and I'm still Monkeypuzzle, and you guys are still all you guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. See you next time, and we'll take this further. And we've got to do some interior decorating too, and by then I'll figure out what the holdup is. Okay, see y'all later. Bye-bye.